Hello, friends. Rosh Hashanah is 5 days away. We're in the final week of Elul, the month preceding the High Holy Days. As I do my final preparations for these days of awe, I cannot help but reflect on some of the great blessings of our community. As Rabbi of Beth Chaim over the past 3 decades, I've had the privilege of working with a wide range of people as part of our professional staff. Since we've always had a relatively small staff, for many of the years, I was the only full-time staff person. At present, our school principal is also full-time, and we've had at various times associate rabbis, part-time office administrators, bookkeepers, sometimes a school admin, and some very part-time teachers, song leaders, and people who, of course, do maintenance and yard work. Over the years, I've had the privilege to work with folks that have become lifelong friends, even after they left the synagogue. Some of our veteran members will certainly remember Arik Labowitz. Arik was our first rabbinic assistant. Arik is a lovely soul who I met when he was in his 20s. He built a practice of doing independent B'nai Mitzvah in Berkeley after leaving Beth Chaim and was able to make a living for he and his wife Eliza and his 2 boys. We've been able to maintain a close friendship over the years, and I've watched him mature as a Jewish spiritual leader and as a man. This past spring, I had the pleasure of being one of the rabbis who ordained him as a rabbi. It was a great honor, and I really love Arik. After Arik, Rabbi Chaya Gusfield became our assistant rabbi and B'nai Mitzvah coordinator. Chaya had just been ordained herself when she began working at Beth Chaim, and it was so wonderful to have a woman in a rabbinic role who could offer things that I could not, especially to the women of our community. I have to say that although I had known Chaya before she started working here, it took us some time to find our groove working together. Having said that, the 7 years she worked here was a period where I had a wonderful creative partner, and we learned a lot from each other. Rabbi Chaya is still a very dear friend and my closest rabbinic colleague. She called upon me to officiate the funerals of both of her parents, and both of whom I knew. And she stepped up for me in such a big way when my late wife Yael died. Not only did she officiate at Yael's funeral, but she led high holiday services that year, although she was no longer working here. Her friendship is quite precious to me. I've had the opportunity to mentor many of our school principals and have grown to care for so many of them as well. Lori Comer was one of our most amazing principals, and she went on to become a talented therapist and is still a member of our community. So why do I share all of this with you? 2 reasons. First, to share an appreciation of how the professionals I've worked with at Beth Chaim have had such a wonderful impact on my life. And second, because I need to say that at this time, I believe we have the finest professional staff we have ever had here at Beth Chaim. Shelby Mayer Margolin, our current principal, the head of our Beit Midrash, is in the process of lifting up the educational program for the young people of our community. Shelby is an incredibly bright, delightfully creative, and remarkably sensitive human being. Having gone through the program herself, she fully understands the value of what we have to offer the young people and families of our community. Expect great things from her. They are happening. The past few years, our office staff has been anchored by Nila Arugamam and Heidi Benson Stagg as bookkeeper and office administrator, respectively. These two may be the most overqualified office personnel one could imagine. I don't exaggerate. If you looked at their previous resumes, you would only have to wonder at our great fortune in having them in these roles. Last year, both Neela and Heidi announced that they would be leaving. We were very close to hiring people to fill their positions, but in the 11th hour, it didn't work out. Amazingly, Neela has agreed not only to stay for another year, but she graciously agreed to take over Heidi's job as well and work full-time. What an incredible gift to our community. Every Beth Chaim member who has had the opportunity to interact with Neela understands what a great people person she is and how good she is at problem solving and taking care of things that might appear to be challenges to others. Neela cares deeply about this community, and that is a gift beyond measure. Another amazing staff member, Alex Lafrez, our school administrator, who took another job last year, has graciously agreed to come back and help us out again in a role she does with grace and care that money cannot buy. One of the professional positions that we've struggled with of late was our Beit Midrash song leader. This year, through Kelly Cohn, the director of our Tree of Life preschool and a leader of our community, we were introduced to Raina Rines. Raina and Kelly were childhood friends, and Raina is a treasure. She is a professional musician and singer, and she has a lot of experience song leading with young people. Over the weekend at both the Shabbat evening summer sing out and at the first day of our Sunday Beit Midrash program, Raina displayed her talent, her playfulness, her ability to elicit joy, and lifted up our community with song and prayer. I share all of this with you because when I think about this past year and the year we are about to enter, I believe we are poised to have an amazing year led by a dedicated and caring staff that I am so proud to be a part of. I just wanted to share my excitement and my delight with you as we move toward Rosh Hashanah and what I believe will be a wonderful year for our Beth Chaim community. So stay safe and be well. Shalom uvracha, peace and blessings, and Shana Tova. Have a sweet, healthy, happy New Year.